Alright, so today I'm going to lead you through a little bit of a practice session on using cladograms. Now, we discussed cladograms before, and in order to do this exercise today, you're going to need your handout, so have it ready, and a pencil. If you follow along with the video, you should do just fine. We're going to have a small quiz at the end, so pay close attention. Let's get ready. Let's begin. To begin with, just a reminder of the definition of a cladogram. A cladogram is a branching diagram that shows the relationship between species. Remember, this is all theoretical. Scientists don't really know how or if these organisms are related, but a cladogram is just a way that they have to look at those organisms and determine what common ancestry they may have. So let's begin. We'll start by making a chart. You'll notice that on the left-hand side of the chart, I've written 4 legs, fur, carnivore, and retractable claws. And at the top, I've got 4 animals. I have the iguana, I have a common rabbit, a dog, and a cat. Now, to begin with, let's start making checks. Let's look at the 4 legs. Which animals all have 4 legs? So you'll see that I went ahead here and I've checked that the iguana has 4 legs, the rabbit has 4 legs, the dog has 4 legs, and the cat has 4 legs. So on your chart, go ahead and mark all of those columns as having 4 legs. Now let's look at the next category, which will be fur. When I look at the iguana, there is no fur, and so I don't mark that one. But when I look at the rabbit, he has fur, the dog, he has fur, and the cat has fur. And so go ahead on your table and check in all of those that apply. You'll notice that the rabbit, the dog, and the cat are have a little bit more in common than did the iguana. Let's look at the next category, carnivore. You'll notice that I cannot check a box for the iguana. I cannot check a box for the rabbit. But under the dog and cat, I can check that they are both carnivores. And so it looks like the dog and cat are closer in relationship than are the rabbit and the iguana. Let's go to the next category, the retractable claws. Iguanas, they don't have retractable claws. Remember, retractable claws are just the ability to retract the claws, to take the claws out and back in again. And the iguana doesn't have that. The rabbit doesn't have that. The dog doesn't have that. But yes, the cat has the ability to take his claws in and then take them back out again. Alright, so now we're going to switch it up, and now that we have a column, we're going to start writing our cladogram. So begin by making a diagonal line, make it from the bottom of the page to the top of the page. And then we're going to branch off all 4 of these animals to the top part of the diagram. Now you can write the word iguana, rabbit, dog, or cat, and you can just show each of those branching off. But the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to draw the picture. So at the top of the picture of my lines, instead of writing iguana, I just have a picture of an iguana. Then I have a picture of a rabbit, a picture of a dog, and a picture of a cat. Notice that in the bottom half, I'm putting the iguana because he has the least in common. And at the top of the diagram, I'm going to write the cat because it has the most in common. Now I'm ready to write my traits on my cladogram. I'm going to start with the 4 legs because all 4 of these animals have 4 legs. And so I'm going to show on the cladogram that after 4 legs came into the picture, everybody that came after the 4 legs evolved has 4 legs. The next thing I'm going to put in is the fur. So I'm going to make a line straight down between the iguana and the rabbit, showing that that's when fur came about. Because after I put that line, every animal has fur. Then I'm going to write in between the rabbit and the dog, I'm going to write carnivore, showing that after carnivore, only the dog and cat came. Then after the dog, I'm going to put retractable claw, showing that the cat is the only animal that has that retractable claw. Alright, so now we have a finished product. This is called a cladogram. You will notice that the cladogram tells you a lot about the relationship that these organisms have. For example, we can see that having 4 limbs, 4 legs, that came along very, very early in their evolution. After 4 limbs came along, we can see that we have all 4 animals, the iguana, the rabbit, the dog, and the cat. Sometime after the iguana, fur came along. And then after the fur, we can see that rabbits and dogs and cats must have evolved. Then sometime after the rabbit, we can see that the carnivore came along. And after the carnivore, we had dogs and cats. And then the last thing to evolve was the cat, because that retractable claw, the only thing that's after the retractable claw is indeed the cat. Alright, so now here comes the part where you have to do some thinking. You'll notice that I've made that same table, and now I've put a question mark at the end. That question mark is your animal, the animal that you have been assigned. I want you to fill out this graph, this chart, this table, including your animal. What things does your animal have? Are you going to be able to check off the 4 legs, the fur, the carnivore, the retractable claw? You put in all of that information. I'll give you one hint. The only animal that I can think of that has a retractable claw would be in the cat family. So that's the only hint I'll give you. I'll give you a few minutes just to fill out your chart with your animal. And you must know your animal. If you don't know your animal at this point, I think you are not planning on passing. Because we have written a report, we have watched YouTube videos, you should know everything. You should know more than anyone else about your animal. So go ahead and fill out your chart. I'll give you just a few more seconds. Alright, the next thing that you have to do is using your chart, just like I showed you earlier. You're going to make your own cladogram with your animal included. Now remember, if you want to draw pictures, you can, or you can just write the names. Iguana, rabbit, dog, cat, and then your animal. Show where all the different parts came into existence. The 4 limbs, the fur, the carnivore, the retractable claw. Where will you put your animal? Some people will put their animal at the end. If they think their animal came after the cat, put your animal at the end. If you think your animal came before the iguana, put your animal where it goes. But you'll need to fill in all the parts and pieces and either draw little sketches of all these animals, including yours, or write in their names. I'll give you just a few minutes to complete that portion. Alright, keep working. I'm just going to give you a few more minutes in case anybody is sketching your animals, or if you needed to look up how to spell it or something. But just give you a few more minutes and you should have a complete cladogram. I will be grading this cladogram. I will include this on your 9 weeks grade. Remember, parent-teacher conferences are coming up here in another week. And so you want to make sure you have nice grades, and that means that you will have a complete assignment. I will also be grading that assignment that we had earlier in the week. Hopefully you did well with that as well. Take just a few more minutes to complete your assignment, making your own cladogram. Cladograms are going to be on your TCAP, and so we want to make sure that you are ready when you see them, that you'll know how they are made and how to answer questions from them. And in just a few seconds here, I'm going to ask you some questions about a cladogram, 10 in fact, and that's what you're going to fill in on those spaces on your paper. Take a few more minutes to finish up, and we are done.
Blanket. Field mice are stirring. The odds of catching anything might seem hopeless, but not to him. An enormous leap to catch a critter under 3 feet of snow.
Many cuckoo species practice something called brood parasitism, meaning that they'll abandon their offspring and trick other birds into raising them. Females will lay their eggs in other birds' nests and use several deception tactics to get out of parenting duties. They have secretive and fast-laying behaviors, which may also involve luring host birds away from their nests. Females sometimes specialize and lay eggs which closely resemble those of their chosen hosts, or cryptic eggs, which are dark in color in contrast to those of the host. This helps hide them in darker nests. The cuckoo chick usually hatches first and grows faster than the others in the nest. It will often force the other younglings out, thus increasing its chances of survival.
It looks a lot like a creature featured in that Harry Potter spin-off film Fantastic Beasts, but it's known as a stick insect because of its elongated body with limbs which resemble sticks, twigs, or very, very thin tree branches. These stick bugs, or walking sticks, are found all over the world, are well-known herbivores, and some species even have wings. These bugs usually grow to be around 12 inches in length and are considered by many to be the world's largest insects, as they have been known to reach over 22 inches long, and most weigh over just 2 ounces. Similar to praying mantises, these creatures have slow, repetitive side-to-side movements, meant to mimic vegetation moving in the wind. This next little guy is the reef stonefish. Can you find him? These strange aquatic creatures are found along the rocky coral of Australian coastlines and can measure up to 50 centimeters, or nearly 1.5 feet in length. And of course, like all things from Australia, these fish are some of the most venomous and deadly in all of the aquatic world. This beautiful but deadly fish can inject venom through any of its 13 sprouts. Not only that, but their sting is extremely painful and dangerous. Oh, and if you think you're safe by staying out of the water, think again. These remarkable creatures can survive up to 24 hours on land. The feral kitty cat? These large felines are native to the mountain ranges of Central and Southern Asia, and I'm sad to say these beautiful creatures are endangered, which may be why they've gotten so good at hiding from seeing eyes. These mountain beasts generally weigh about 60 to 120 pounds, though they can reach sizes of 165 pounds. They have long tails around 30 to 40 inches in length. The bodies of these kitties are most commonly 30 to 60 inches long, which stand about 24 inches at the shoulder. These leopards have long fur with colors which vary from smoky gray to a yellowish tan, and always with very smooth white underbellies. They are characterized by their dark gray spots which cover their fur. Those pale green eyes and wide paws are as adorable as they are deadly. These solitary creatures are carnivores and hunt whatever they're lucky enough to find. They're ambush predators who lack a growl and rely on their speed and agility more than anything else. They rarely attack humans, though they have been known to thieve the occasional livestock assemblages. Number 1.